afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Geylang Virtual CC. My name's Pamela, and I'll be leading you in yet another flow session today. Okay, so I hope you're all doing well. Before we get started, just stand by the props that you usually need. Maybe it's 2 blocks and even a towel to either cushion your knees with, or maybe to help you in either forward folds or certain binding poses. Okay. So as always, please pace yourself. Don't feel pressured to do every single variation, or just take options that suit your practice. Okay, and rest whenever you need to. Okay, so without further ado, let's get started. Okay, find a comfortable seat on the mat. Okay, if you want to, you can sit on the block as I'm doing so. Okay, just to elevate your hips. Sit up taller, resting. Your palms either on your knees, no, not either, on your knees, either facing upwards or down. Okay, roll your shoulders back away from your ears and softly close your eyes. Okay, just take a few moments to let your body settle in. Keeping the space between your eyebrows soft and your jaw relaxed. Start to center yourself by turning your awareness inwards as you focus on your breath, moving in and out through your nose. Okay, just take your time, make your breath smooth and gentle. And try to practice same count breathing. So perhaps 5 seconds to inhale and 5 seconds to exhale. Can you also try to let go of any thoughts and distractions as you do your very best to be mentally present, physically as well, on your mat. Couple more rounds here with eyes still closed. Nicely done. And blink open your eyes very gently on your next inhalation. Nice. Now, with your eyes open, come into child's pose. Okay, so your resting pose. So you're going to keep your knees on the floor, sit back on your heels, and stretch both your hands to the front. Okay, so if you're not familiar, this is one of the options to take a resting pose. With your fingers stretched forward, lengthen your spine and press the hips back towards your heels. Okay, just take a more active child by coming up onto all 10 finger pads. Okay, so you're pushing your 10 finger pads down to the floor. Lengthen the sides of your waist as you reach your hands to the front. Nice. Now, side stretch in child's pose as I just get my blocks out of the way. Start to walk both your hands towards the right side edge of the mat. As you're doing so, still keep your left hip heavy on your left heel. Okay, keep the sides of your waist long, left side. Nice. Shoulders are even. Now, option 1, you could remain as it is. Option 2, maybe try to walk your left hand more towards your right as you start to stack your palms. Okay, so again, as you're doing so, you're not lifting left shoulder, draw your left shoulder down. Inhale, back to center. Slowly, other side. Okay, so walking both your hands now towards the left side edge of the mat. Again, push down through all 10 finger pads, keeping the sides of your waist long. Stay. Again, so right hip is heavy on your right heel. Option 1, stay here. 2, maybe walk your right hand more towards your left, okay, as you start to stack your palms. And come back to center. From child's pose, roll back up to a tabletop position. So you're on all fours on your hands and knees. Okay, so spread the fingers wide. Keeping shoulders in line with your wrists and knees in line with your hips. thread the needle. Left palm's going to stay on the mat. Now stretch your right hand up towards the ceiling. Okay, maybe you're looking up at your right fingers. On your exhale, stretch your right arm underneath your left. Okay, so you are stretching the right hand towards the left side edge of the mat as you lower your face down to the floor. If for whatever reason your face can't touch the mat, comfortably grab your block. Could also be a pillow maybe. Okay, so place the block underneath your right cheek. Nice, okay, so reaching right hand towards your left. Hips are still in line with your knees. Option 1, you could have your fingers on the mat close to your face, your left fingers. Option 2, you could walk your left hand forward, perhaps stay on your finger pads, okay, and push the floor away. Option 3, half bind. Internally rotate that left shoulder as you bring your left hand around your back. If you can, you're going to hold on to your right thigh. Nice, okay, lightly push the floor with your right upper arm as you twist towards your left. And as you're twisting, remember ribs in, belly in. Okay, neck is relaxed, breathe. Nice, and release your left hand, whether it's in a bind or maybe walk the left hand back. Push into the mat with your left palm. Lift your chest up as you reach your right hand up towards the ceiling, inhale. And exhale, release, lower your right hand down to the floor. Okay, so same thing on the other side. I'm just going to turn myself around. You stay as you are. Okay, next inhale, lift left hand up towards the ceiling. And exhale, thread your left arm under. So same thing, scoop the left hand under as you rest. Left cheek, your ear, maybe even prop your face up with a pillow or a block. Option 1, right fingers stay on the mat. Close your face. Option 2, walk your right hand forward. 3, you could take a half bind. Okay, so wrap your right hand around and spin that right shoulder back. Okay, so pressing the floor away lightly with your left upper arm, twisting towards your right. Nice, one more big breath here. Nicely done. Gently release, lower your right hand down to the floor. Push yourself back up as you stretch. Left hand up towards the ceiling, inhale. And exhale, release. Lower your left hand down to the mat. From tabletop, okay, just briefly finding a plank. Plank pose. High push-up. Okay, so stack shoulders on top of your wrists, straight legs. Grip the mat, remember, weight-bearing poses. Grip the floor with all 10 finger pads, especially the base of your index fingers and your thumbs. From here, try to just maintain the distance between your hands and feet as best as you can as you lift your hips high into your first downward facing dog. Okay, so your inverted V. Okay, nice. You can start to move here in any way that you like in down dog. Paddling your legs. Okay, maybe even gently shaking your head and nodding it. Could also be lifting both your heels as you lower your heels down to your right. And back to center and heels to the left. Okay, so those with tighter hamstrings, you want to bend your knees slightly. Okay, keep your heels up so you're still able to lengthen your spine instead of rounding it in your down dog. Okay, find stillness in down dog. Once you're done adjusting, pause here, pushing the floor away. Okay, let's carry on. Inhale, lift your right leg up to three-legged dog, straight leg. On your exhale, okay, tiny bit of core work. Bend that right knee as you bring that knee to your forehead or nose. Okay, so as you're holding this shape, stack the shoulders on top of your wrist. Gently step your right foot forward between your palms. Lower your left knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Take your time, lift your chest up. Reach both your arms up towards the ceiling. Okay, so hips are squaring forward. Hug inner thighs and descend. Nice. Now adding on a bind. Can you now cactus your hands? Garudasana bind. Crossing your right arm on top of your left. Okay, so if you can, maybe the back of your hands are able to touch. Too much for you, just keep your hands apart. Okay, so it looks more like a looser X shape. Final option, most challenging, double bind. So you're going to wrap your wrists around each other. Lift your elbows up slightly with hands away from face. Shoulders down, away from ears. Okay, so as you're staying here again, keep your ribs in, belly in. Breathe. Gently release your bind. Hands on the floor. Half split. Start to straighten your right leg. Okay, so straighten your right leg, still keeping your left thigh vertical. You might need to shift the right foot slightly to get your left thigh vertical. Flex the front foot. Square off your hips. Okay, so take your right hip bone back. Now next inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. So folding towards your right toes. Okay, so if your hands can't quite touch the mat, grab your blocks. You're going to place the blocks on either side of your right leg, like that. Okay, so if you're using blocks, again, experiment with the 3 heights, lowest, middle, tallest. Chest forward, maybe belly to thigh, breathe. Nice, our next inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Rebend that right knee to ground your foot. Okay, we're going to rise back up to Anjaneyasana. Inhale, lift your chest up. Reach both your arms up towards the ceiling. Hands to heart center in prayer. Okay, just lift the hips up slightly so it's more neutral. Inhale, lengthen, lean forward. Exhale, you're going to twist towards your right side. So twist towards your right, hook your left elbow outside of your right knee. It doesn't have to be a super deep twist. Hands to heart center. Draw that right shoulder back. Okay, so option 1, you could stay. Your left knee is on the floor. Option 2, slowly tuck your back toes to straighten your left leg. Okay, so if you're losing balance, look down. Nice, now spread all 5 right toes. Stay strong. Release your twist, hands on the mat. Okay, those of you who have your left knee on the mat, can you just lift your left knee? Down dog lunge. You're going to set up step by step. Shift the right foot about 1 inch towards your right side. Okay, so still keep the foot parallel to the long side edge of the mat. Ground your back foot. Okay, so back foot stays completely flat on the floor. Walking, both your hands now towards the top left corner of the mat. Okay, so as you're doing so, your right knee is still pointing forward, not moving along with your upper body. Press the floor with through all 10 finger pads. Knees tracking second toe. And again, you want to think about hugging your right hip back towards your left foot energetically. Now notice if you're still grounding down the outer edge of your left foot. Breathe. Slowly coming back to center. Okay, from here, we're just going to step back to down dog for today. Okay, so step your right leg back. Inverted V. Again, so feet hip width, hand shoulder width. Push the floor with your palms. Breathe. Okay, let's repeat that on that left side. Inhale, lift left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to forehead on nose. Okay, so curl the knee in and gently step your left foot forward. Lower the right knee down to the floor. Anjaneyasana. Okay, so chest upright. Take your time. Stretch both your arms up once you're ready. Okay, so reach out to your fingers. Lengthen sides of your waist as you sit the hips down and forward. From here, can you cactus your hands? Eagle arms, Garudasana bind. Left hand on top of right this time. Option 1, 2, 3. Okay, so lift elbows up with hands away from face and shoulders down. Okay, so I think you feel that broadness in your upper back. Release your bind, hands to the floor. Half split. Start to straighten your left leg. Shift the hips back. Again, try to keep your hip and knee in line. Square off your hips, draw your left hip bone back. Take a breath, inhale, and exhale, fold forward. So folding towards your left toe. So it doesn't matter if your belly is nowhere near your thigh. Maybe you look more like that. Just hold. And if you can, think about pressing that left heel into the floor. Yeah, like you want to create a dent in the mat with your left heel. Inhale, look forward halfway. Rebend that left knee to ground your foot. Anjaneyasana again. Lifting, chest up, slowly stretch both your arms up. Hands to heart center, prayer hands. Again, so lift the hips up just slightly. On your inhale, lengthen, lean forward. Exhale, twist towards your left. Okay, so hook right elbow outside of your left knee. Nice twist. Again, ribs in, belly in. Hands to heart center. Keep your collarbones broad. Now, option 1, stay. Right knee on the mat. Option 2, lift your back knee. Okay, so feet should be about hip width distance. Now squeeze your inner thighs together. Release your twist, hands on the floor. Okay, so lift your right knee if you haven't done so. Shift the left foot about 1 inch towards your left. Ground your back foot. Okay, so back foot completely flat. Left knee points forward. Walk both your hands now towards the top right corner of the mat. Okay, so noticing the upper body looks like a down dog still is not a flat back position. Press the floor away through all 10 finger pads. Hug that left hip energetically towards your right foot as you keep your left thigh away from your side body. Coming back to center. Slowly, step left leg back, downward facing dog. Okay, go back. Okay, so anytime you need, you're welcome to take child's pose. Those who are staying down dog with me and gripping the mat, push the floor away.
Lift the sitting bones higher towards the ceiling. Moving along, lift your right leg up. Inhale, three-legged dog. Scorpion tail now, so you start to bend your knee and you turn your pelvis towards your right side. Okay, so squeezing right heel to bum. Lift your right kneecap up. On your exhale, square off your hips, knee to forehead or nose. Step your right foot forward between your palms. Take your time, pause. Now still keep your back heel up. Push down through your feet. High lunge. Rise up. So as you rise up, stretch both your arms overhead. Once you're stable, if you're a little bit wobbly, you can just check out your feet hip width. If not, you might need to shift the right foot slightly to your right. Reach out through your arms. Keep your back heel high. One more inhale here as you lengthen. Next exhale, open up, warrior two. Okay, so turning towards the left. Just going to turn around so I can face you. So as you turn towards your left, set up your legs again. So ankles roughly below your wrists. Bend that right knee to a square. Hips are level. Okay, so one hip is not higher than the other. Stretch out through your arms and look past your right fingers. Let's reverse. Flip the right palm up, inhale, and exhale. Sweep your right arm overhead. Okay, so nothing changes from your waist down. So your knees still pointing forward, hips are still level. Inhale, come back up, warrior two. Once you're back in warrior two, hands on both hips. Can you now turn your right foot in so your feet will be parallel? From parallel feet, turn your heels in once. So you roughly have your toes turning out 45. Goddess pose, bend your knees and squat. Okay, so goddess, thigh bones wide. Knees on top of ankles and knees tracking your second toes. If you can, sit the hips a little bit lower while keeping tailbone lengthening down and front ribs in. Okay, so you can choose to just rest your hands on your thighs. Baby, stretch both your arms up. Okay, so again, grow tall, lengthen. Size of your waist, reach your arms up without shrugging shoulders. Breathe here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Hands back to your hips. Straighten your legs. Turn your heels back out. So we're back to parallel feet. Parallel feet. Nice as a tongue twister, okay? Prasarita. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forwards. Wide-legged forward fold. If you can, you're going to lower your hands down to the floor. If not, blocks to the rescue. You could rest your hands on blocks. Okay, nice. Now, once you're here, think about crown the head closer to the mat. Well, at least it's a general direction. If it's not there, don't worry, okay? Now, shifting the weight forward a little bit more to your toes. And maybe you can start to walk your hands back so they line up with your feet. Maybe even walking your hands past. So your hands are moving towards the right side edge of the mat. Okay, so shift the weight more forward, shoulders away from ears. And as you stay here, root down through all corners of your feet and drag your heels together. Next, inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Pause here. Hands to hips, press out through your feet, slowly rise back up. All right, once you're upright, turn your right foot forward. Okay, you're going to move into your triangle pose, okay? So if you need to, you can shorten the distance between your feet slightly. Stretch out through your arms. Nice. You start to reach your right hand forward like you want to grab something in front. As you move your hips back, reach forward. Now notice again, so your right knee is not hyperextending. Soften the knee, contract thigh muscle. Reach forward, and start to lower your hand down, either to your ankle, shin, or if you need, you could also place a block there on the floor. Okay, stretching the left hand upwards. You could stay here. Option 2, sweep your left bicep next to your left ear. Okay, so again, lengthen left side of your body. Ground down through both feet. Breathe. Nice. Now left hand to left hip. Okay, so if you're still working on your half moon pose, your other Chandrasana, I would suggest grab a block now. Bend your right knee, everyone. Take your block or walk your fingers forward about maybe 1.5 or 2 feet in front of your right little toe. Feel free to step your left foot forward slightly and then start to tip the weight forward as you float left leg up. Slowly. Okay, so hips and chest facing left side. Once you're stable, you could stretch left hand upwards. Okay, so again, so standing leg strong, don't hyperextend, spread your toes. Okay, so where your right hand ends up is going to be slightly below your right shoulder, somewhere there. Now, option 1, remain here, left leg straight. Option 2, bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand, and start to Whoa, okay. Yeah. Reset. Okay, so if you fall on me, just come back slowly. Okay, so where were we? Chapasana. Bend your left knee, catch off your left foot, and start to kick your left foot away from your bum. Okay, so easy to balance, you're going to look down. If you want to challenge your balance, go ahead, look upwards. If you're in Chapasana, straighten the left leg back to half moon. Okay, don't drop that left leg just yet. One more single leg balance, supported warrior 3. So you're going from an open hip to square hips. Turn your left hip down. Lower your left fingers down to the floor. Both hands on the mat. Okay, both sets of fingers on the floor. Hug inner thighs together. Kick your left heel back. And think about extending all the way to the crown of your head. Now, option 1, you could keep your hands on the floor. Option 2, maybe bring your hands to heart center. I know, right leg is dying already. Okay, hands to heart. Ribs in, belly in, hold. From here, warrior 1. Okay, so slowly bend your right knee. Step your left foot back. Inhale, rise up. I know the transition from warrior 3 to warrior 1. Careful, take your time. Okay, so hips facing forward. Reach up to your arms and ground down through the outer edge of your left foot. Can you now interlace the fingers behind your back? As we move into humble warrior, again, so keep your feet more hip width. You might need to shift your right foot slightly to your right. Inhale, lift your chest. And on your exhale, bow forwards. So your torso is folding inside of your right leg as you reach the crown of your head a little bit closer to the floor. Stretching the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Nice, and as you stay here again, energetically hug your right hip back towards your left foot. Breathe. Nice, now stay low, look forward halfway. Both hands on the floor inside of your right foot. Lower your left knee down to the bend. If you need, pat your left knee, okay? Lizard pose. Turn your right toes out slightly. Option 1, you could stay here, you're on your palms. Option 2, you could use your blocks. Lower forearms down to blocks. Option 3, forearms on the mat directly. Okay, so again, as you just notice you're not sinking on the left hip this way, try to keep your hips level. And if you want to do a little bit more, go ahead, tuck your back toes to straighten your left leg. Okay, so your front shin remains vertical, hips level, nice long spine, keep your collarbones broad, hold. From here, come back up onto your palms. If you're on your forearms, step your right leg back, downward facing dog. Okay, go back. Pause for a moment in down dog. Okay, so just take this time to check in with your breath. Perhaps slow it down. Maybe even try to deepen your breath if it's a little bit shallow. Nice, now other side. Inhale, let's lift left leg up. From the three-legged dog to scorpion, so bend your knee, turn pelvis towards your left as you squeeze the left heel to your bum. Keep the shoulders level. Now exhale, screw off your hips, left knee to forehead or nose. Gently step your left foot forward between your palms slowly. High lunge, okay, so keep your back heel up, push down through your feet, slowly rise up. As you rise up, steady gaze, and then reach both your hands up towards the ceiling. Okay, so hip bones are squaring forward. Straighten that back leg. Breathe. Nice, now one more inhale here. Nice, now next exhale, open up, warrior 2. Again, just gonna flip the other way. So come to warrior 2, line up. If you can, left heel with the arch of your back foot or heel to heel. Reach out to your arms, bend that left knee to a square. That's reverse. Flip the left palm up, inhale, and exhale. Sweep your left arm overhead. Reach it back. Okay, so keep the side of your waist long. Right hand is light on your right leg. Inhale, come back up, warrior 2. Hands to hips. Turn your left foot in. So you're going to have feet parallel. As we set up goddess, you're going to turn both your heels in, so feet turning up about 45 degrees to the side. Start to bend your knees. Find a nice squat. Okay, so knees again in line with your second toes. You might maybe need to turn your toes in more or turn out more. Maybe adjusting also the distance between your legs. Hold. Tailbone down. Front ribs in. Option, keep your hands on your thighs. 2, you could reach both your arms up towards the ceiling. Hold. Okay, so if you can sit the hips a little bit lower. For 3, 2, and forward 1. Hands to your hips, straighten your legs, turn your heels back out. Okay, so you're back to parallel feet. Prasarita, I got that round as well. Inhale and exhale, fold forwards. Okay, let me just go back a bit. So as you fold forwards, second round for this pose, maybe again try hands on the floor if you can. Option 2, perhaps hold on to your respective ankles now. As you start to bend your elbows out sideways, tipping forward from your hips, reaching the crown of your head closer to the floor. Okay, so as you're bending your elbows out and you're not shrugging the shoulders, keep the back of your neck long, don't scrunch it. Nice, now inhale, halfway lift, flat back. So just taking your time to come up, don't rush. Hands to hips, push down through your feet and rise back up. Once you're upright, triangle, turn your left foot forward. Nice, okay, stretch both your arms out sideways. Start to reach your left hand to the front. Reach forward, and lower your hand down, ankle, shin, or mat. Okay, so your left hand doesn't have to be super low. Stretch your right arm up. Okay, nice. Option 1, again, you could keep your right hand here. Option 2, strip your right arm overhead. Okay, so you're not collapsing in a Trikonasana. Right shoulder back. You don't hyperextend that left knee. If you need to, micro bend that left knee. And feel like you want to drag the mat together. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Bend your left knee now. If you need to, again, grab your block. Place the block in front of your left little toe. Right foot, step in halfway first. Okay, so easier to float that right leg up and balance on that left leg. Take your time. Start to lift your right leg upwards. Slowly. Okay, so think about kind of like stacking that right hip on top of your left. Slowly take your right hand up if you're balanced. If not, the hand can remain on your hip. Option 1, 2, Shavasana. Okay, so bending your right knee, catch hold of your foot. Kick your right foot away from your bum. Okay, so again, steady gaze, steady pose. Nice, so re-straighten your right leg back to half moon. Okay, so without dropping that right leg, from here, turn your right hip down now. Okay, so both hip bones will face the mat. Lower your right fingers down to the floor. So again, where your hands end up roughly below your shoulders. Okay, so if your right hip is still opening up to the side, turn your right hip down. Squeeze inner thighs together. Option 1, hands remain on the mat. 2, hands in prayer. Okay, so ribs and belly in. Nice, now warrior 1. Bend your left knee. Slowly step your right foot back as gracefully as you can. Reach your arms towards the ceiling. Okay, so hips facing front. Ground out through the outer edge of your right foot. Lengthen through your spine. Interlacing the hands behind your back now. Humble again. You can keep your feet more hip width distance. Lifting your chest up on your inhale. On your exhale, bow forwards. So fold inside of your left thigh. Again, so note that you're not just resting the chest on your thigh. Try to get your torso inside of your left knee as you stretch your knuckles towards the ceiling, maybe even bringing the head to the floor. Okay, actively squeeze your left hip back towards your right foot. Hold here. Nice, now stay low, look forward halfway. Place both your hands on the mat inside of your left foot. Lizard. Lower your right knee down. Okay, so I'm just going to turn the other way so you can see more of my left leg. Okay, so with your right knee on the mat, keeping the front shin vertical. Again, you could stay, you're on your hands. 2, use the blocks. Lower your forearms down to the block. And 3, forearms on the mat directly. Okay, so you can feel free to just stay right knee on the mat. If you want to do a little bit more, you could straighten your right leg. Okay, so again, front shin vertical. Elbows in line with the arch of your left foot. And again, not just hang your head down. So think about lengthening your spine. Nice. Okay, just maybe looking somewhere the space between your thumbs. Breathe. From forearms, push yourself back onto your palms. Slowly, step your left leg back. Downward facing dog. Go back. Yes, as you come back to down dog. Again, if you're collapsing your down dog, feel a little bit more buoyant here by lifting the forearms. Keep your upper back broad. Upper arms externally rotated. Lift the sitting bones higher as you press the floor away with your hands. Okay, maybe the heels can touch, maybe not. It's okay. One more breath here in your down dog. Nicely done. Now on your next inhale, let's lift right leg up to three-legged dog. Scorpion again, bend your knee, turning the pelvis towards your right. Okay, so actively again, squeeze the heel to your bum, lifting right kneecap up. On your exhale, pigeon. Bring that right shin forward. Okay, so lining up that right knee behind your right wrist. If you can, your shin will be parallel to the top edge of the mat. Again, don't force it. Maybe bring the heel closer to your left hip bone. Square the hips forward. Okay, so if you need to, again, maybe heel closer to your left hip. Don't switch shin parallel to the top edge of the mat. Gentle reminder to flex your foot. Okay, before you fall, just check again your left hip, knee, toes, and heel, they all line up with each other. Take your time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. So folding over your right leg and pause here. You could choose to stay on your forearms. Maybe you could walk both your hands forward, resting forehead on the floor. Okay, either way, again, you're not sinking on your right side. Keep your hips even. Think about reaching chest forward a little bit more. And actively, again, hug your right hip back towards your left knee. Nice, now one more breath in pigeon pose. Slowly, and come back up. Walk your hands back towards your shin. Lift your chest. Okay, you're going to transition to a knee to chest pose. Okay, so we're all familiar with that. Think about pressing the floor right now with your palms. Tuck your back toes to lift your knee. Now from here, you have to think about lifting that right knee to your chest. Can you gently step your right foot forward? Yeah, a little bit awkward. Right? Step your right foot forward. Come back to a runner's lunge. Now from your runner's lunge, left palm stays on the mat. Easy twist towards your right. Stretch your right hand up. Okay, so right hand reaches up. Nice. Keep your back leg straight. Press the floor with your left palm. Nice. Now release your twist. Lower your right hand down to the floor. You're going to sit back down again. So can you slide your left shin forward? Bring that left shin behind your right heel and gently lower your bum down. So as you sit on the floor, that's going to turn around to face you. You should kind of have your right foot in front of your left. Sit up taller. Crown Chasana. Hold the sole of your right foot with both hands to stand. Start to lift your right leg. So as you lift your right leg, if you can, you're going to straighten the leg. If you can't, just keep your knee bent or even use your prop, okay, your towel or strap. You could loop it around your right foot like that and straighten. Not falling back, sit up tall. Start to bring the shin closer to your face as best as you can. Okay, so spread your toes, shoulders down, nice long spine. Nice, now rebend your right knee to lower your right foot down. From here, bring both your knees together now. Nice, lean back slightly, boat pose. Start to lift your shins. Okay, you could hold the back of your thighs lightly. Draw your knees in closer to your chest. Okay, spread your toes, can either point, floin, or flex. Option 1, continue to hold your thighs lightly as you keep the spine long. Option 2, reach both your hands forward. Okay, so again, broaden collarbones and hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Cross at your ankles, rock forward. Just going to step back to your downward facing dog. Okay, so step back. Okay, so it's a nice short set here for the second round. So you come back to down dog. Okay, so again, same thing. Press the floor with your palms. Lengthen your spine. Lift the hips up. Inhale now. Lift your left leg up to three-legged dog. Scorpion, bend your knee. Turn pelvis towards your left. Squeeze the left heel to your bum. On your exhale, bring your left shin forward. Pigeon. Bring the knee behind your wrist. Slide your right leg back. Okay, if you need, your ankle can always be closer to your right hip. Square hips to the front. Nice, okay, and just try to keep your left knee a little bit closer to the long side edge of the mat. When you're ready, inhale and exhale. We're going to fold over your left shin. Okay, so your right hip, same thing as earlier. Right hip, right knee, toes, heel. They all line up with each other. Chest forward. Okay, going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Again, and actively again, hug that left hip back towards your right knee. One more big breath. Nice. Coming out of the pose. So walk your hands back towards your left shin. Again, think left knee to chest this time. Pushing the floor with your palms. Tuck your right toes to lift your knee. Lift the left knee to chest. Okay, gently step your left foot forward between your palms. Right hand stays on the mat. Easy twist towards your left. Stretch your left hand up. Okay, so hips are still level. Bend that left knee to a square. Maybe looking up at your left fingers. Release your twist. Left hand on the mat. Sitting back down. Slide your back leg forward. Bring it behind your left heel. Gently lower your bum down. Once you're seated, Kranchasana, hold the sole of your left foot with both hands. Sit up taller as you start to straighten your left leg. Shoulders down. Nice. Okay, maybe even using a towel, wrap it around your left foot. Nice. If you can, you're going to draw your left shin closer. Okay, so if it helps, look at your toes. Spread them. Gently release. Lower your left foot back down to the floor. Final round of boat pose. Again, so knees together, feet together. Lean back slightly. Again, you can start off with holding the back of your thighs. Draw your knees closer to your chest. Stay here. Maybe reach both your hands forward. Maybe final round, let's straighten the legs. Okay? Nice. Hold here for 5. The longest 5 seconds of your life. 4, 3. Ribs and belly in. For 2. And for 1. Release. Rebend your knees. Ground your feet. Okay, keep your feet about hip width distance. You're going to lie down onto your back now. Okay, so as you lie down, setting up bridge pose. So again, feet about hip width, parallel to each other, hands on the mat beside your body. Now roughly see if your fingers can touch your heels, roughly. Push down through your feet now as you start to lift your hips. Lift the lower back, upper back, lift your chest towards your chin. Okay, so as you're holding this pose, again, your knees are not flaring wide. Keep them about hip width distance, like you're squeezing a block between them. You can choose to now interlace the fingers beneath your back as you roll elbows and arm bones closer together. Okay, so drive your feet down into the floor. Lift your hips up, lift your chest up, closer towards your chin. Okay, so you think about pushing your feet down and energetically forward. Lower your body back down to the mat, slowly. Release your hands, figure 4. Cross your right ankle on top of your left knee, flex your foot. Okay, bring your left thigh close to your chest. Take the right hand through the gap between the legs as you start to hug your left thigh or left shin. Okay, so you're going to hug it closer while keeping that right thigh externally rotated. Okay, so move your thigh away from your belly. Right foot stays flexed. Keep the shoulders down. Breathe. Nice. Now release your hands. Extend your arms out sideways. Moving this into your Garudasana legs. So I'm just going to cactus my hands so they stay in frame. Okay, now cross your right thigh over your left. Move your hips slightly towards your right and twist. Lower your knees down towards the left side. Okay, so lower knees towards your left. Gently looking past your right shoulder. So in your twist, right shoulder stays down. Maybe bringing your knees a little bit higher, closer towards your chest or belly. Come back to center. Uncross your legs. Let's repeat the figure 4 on the left side. Left ankle crosses on top of your right knee. Flex your foot. Bring your right thigh close to your chest and take your left hand now through the gap between your legs as you start to hug your right thigh or right shin. Again, so think about moving. Left thigh away from your belly. Nice. Now spread your toes. Breathe. Okay, shoulders down. Broaden through your collarbones. Nice. Now release your hands. Again, you could cactus them like what I'm doing or straighten them. Cross your left thigh on top of your right now, so eagle legs. Move the hips slightly to your left as you lower both your knees down towards the right. Okay, so looking past your left shoulder. So if you're feeling any lower back discomfort, try moving the hips a little bit more towards your left. Nice, and release your twist. Come back to center. Uncross your legs. Okay, taking a nice neutral pose before we find Shavasana. So just separate your feet to about mat width distance. Let your knees touch. Okay, so feet mat width, knees to touch. Now option 1, you could have your hands beside your body. Option 2, stretch your arms overhead and hold on to opposite elbows. Okay, if for whatever reason your forearms aren't resting on the floor comfortably, you could place a block underneath your forearms. Taking this moment here to just bring the awareness back to your breath. And again, just notice how your belly expands as you take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, your belly deflates. If you're holding on to opposite forearms, you could switch the cross. And again, inhale, your belly expands. Your chest rises. And as you breathe out, belly deflates and your chest softens. If you have your arms overhead, just gently lower your hands back down beside your body. Start to straighten your legs one by one. We've come to our final and most important pose for this afternoon, Shavasana. Okay, so do any necessary adjustments if you wish. Taking as much space as you need here on your mat. Just allow your toes to turn out sideways. Allow your fingers to curl naturally. Close your eyes. Okay, some of you at home might also choose to cover your eyes with a towel. Okay, so block out any light completely. Relaxing the space between your eyebrows and relaxing your jaw. Unshrug your shoulders. Just try to let go of any residual tension in your body with each outgoing breath. Let your body be still, be present. As you allow your body to absorb all that you've done in the past 45 minutes. It's okay. Feel free to stay a little bit longer in Shavasana. I highly recommend that. Otherwise, start to bring the awareness back to your body by moving your fingers and moving your toes. Bring the legs together to touch. Reach your arms overhead. Interlace your fingers and flip your palms upwards. Point your toes and stretch like you just woke up. And gently release. Bend both your knees. Roll over to your side. And you just pause here for a short while. Okay, so you could be in a fetal position, resting on your upper arm. At your own time, push yourself back up slowly with your eyes still closed, facing the front. Keeping your hands either on your knees or hands together to touch in Anjali Mudra. With a gentle bow of your head, bring the awareness back to this moment on your mat, wherever you are, by blinking your eyes open very, very slowly. Namaste. Thank you everyone for tuning in, for joining me on the mat this afternoon. Okay, have a fantastic Saturday ahead and I hope to see you guys next week, same time, same place. Okay, take care. Bye.